But what's on the agenda for today?
We're gonna be talking about the bowling community and the good side and the bad side. Basically, the bad side is the toxic side.
There's a lot of
There's a
toxic
lot
side.
of it, dude. Like, coming from somebody who's seen it from the age of like 5 or 6 to now 22, compared to you who's been in it since you were what, like 18?
Let's
Like,
league. Let's actually start this off kind of like talking about our our experience.
Yeah.
Before we get anything, let's do like a quick
catch up.
like a quick thing to fill you guys in on how much experience I have compared to her. So I mean, you can tell them how long you've been doing it for.
So I've been bowling since I was about 5 or 6. So doing the math, that's about 16 years, almost 17 years I've been bowling, which blows my mind.
Oh yeah.
The fact that I've been doing this pretty much as long as I've been alive. Almost like just that 5-year gap.
As long as you could hold.
And I wasn't gonna take it serious at first either. Like, to me, it was just an extracurricular activity.
Nobody takes it seriously at first.
No, and like I started out with bumpers. I was in there and probably until the age of like, I want to say 10, either 10 or 11, somewhere around there. Yeah. And then I move up to juniors. That's where all the toxic shit starts.
Which we'll get into that deeper.
Like, that's where it all starts too. But say I bowled a lot. Like I did like 3 leagues at one point, almost 4.
Yeah.
I just joined another league this past year that is out of town.
Which is mine.
Which is yours.
Which is mine.
Which we talked about it for a while about me joining it because, well, now you guys have that extra teammate.
That extra slot.
Yeah, the extra slot, which I think benefits you guys a lot too because it was an all-man team. You needed somebody to fucking humble yourselves.
So, and just she's been doing this for ever.
Yeah, pretty much. I've been doing this forever.
Now, me, I did it kind of on and off for fun, kind of like what Harley and Alyssa do now. Mm-hmm. They go bowling with my dad, and then they get a lane for a couple games.
They go while we bowl.
So I used to do that. It's actually where me and Colin first met when we were kids. But after Colin moved, and my parents got divorced, I think I was like 11 or 12 when I did 2 years of it. It was an open league, so it was like adults.
Yeah, kids. It was a mix. Like it was like a mix. Like
there was no age.
Yeah, there was no age. There was probably no sanction, or if there was a sanction,
I don't think there was.
It was just to get more people into it. It was just to get more people to bowl.
I did like 2 years of that, and then took a very long break.
Yeah.
Like what, like a 4-year break?
And then we met at bowling club.
And then moved up here, and I did bowling club.
Yeah.
Which was through the school.
Yeah.
And or we both did 2 years. Because it was my freshman year and my 10th grade year, I think I did it.
Yeah, because I did it my sophomore and junior year.
Yeah.
But I quit halfway through my junior year because of the owner.
Oh.
I quit because of Brian.
That's true.
Because he gave me an ultimatum. You don't know about this. He gave me an
ultimatum. Are we gonna...
Yeah, we're spilling the tea. We're spilling the tea.
We're not even getting... Well, actually, this is kind of how some of the toxicity starts, because it's not only within the players.
It's within the coaches and owners.
It can be within the owners of the alleys themselves, especially on smaller alleys.
He gave me an ultimatum. He told me I either switch over to Cyprus or I quit the bowling club, because he didn't like the fact that I'd bowl at Cyprus, but I'd still go to Fritz.
And I mean, technically he couldn't do anything.
He couldn't do anything because I was a minor.
Well, not only that, but bowling club is through the school.
Yeah, it's through the school.
There's no sanction. There's no it has nothing to do with anything. And I'll say pro related.
Yeah. And so the reason why he wanted me to switch over was because he had no good bowlers. All his good bowlers moved on already. This is when he was struggling to find people to be in juniors. And then he sees me coming in and lapping his bowlers and
Which you still do.
Even breaking his records.
Which you still do.
Yeah.
Because there was the one tournament I watched you do. You beat even all of his own bowlers in his own alley.
Mm-hmm. Like, I will say there's a bit of a rival. Well, obviously, you have two bowling alleys in the same town that's, like, not even a block away from each other. Maybe about a block.
I think they're a little more, like 2-3 blocks.
Yeah. But it's, like, it's a 2-minute drive from Cypress to Fritz.
I don't even think it's that.
It's not even that. It's like a minute.
Literally, it's a left-hand turn,
and then
it's that funky left, and then you're already at the other one.
Yeah,
so,
like it's close. Like whenever he does his New Year's tournament, I always go. But here's the thing: whenever they see my name on it, all of his bowlers drop out.
Oh. Don't forget about them, by the way.
I know.
You're like death staring at me the whole time.
But it's like,
and
it's crazy to think that like I scare people that much that they drop out of tournaments. Which,
well, you're a good bowler. I mean, look at since you've joined my league, how many of like the top people?
Oh, I scare people
that never get beat in my league. Have you beat already?
Oh my god, yeah. Like, oh my god. Mainly the men, though. Like, I scare... This is a proud thing I can say. I scare men in the bowling world. I scare them.
Well, that's because how often...
They don't see girls good.
See a girl that will show up, and you might beat her the first game. Like, with you, they might beat you the first game because you might bowl what is technically your average at that house. You might bowl right around average 176, and they might bowl like a 210. But then once you see like you have a rival up there at 210, you'll start bowling above 200s. Like you might even touch 220, 230, if not more. So
like I've had coaches after coaches after coaches telling me never back down from a challenge. And what they meant by that, never let a man dictate your skill. And a lot of men in my time bowling
which I can't even say is a short time,
have dictated me. And for a good like year or two, I let them too. Like I let them. I think it was until like my last year of juniors is when I finally stopped. Like, I stopped letting it happen because that's when I started picking up a bit. Like, okay, I can get a 200. Why don't we try pushing for a 210? All the way up to 290, which is my highest game in league.
And then
my no tap
is 299, 298.
300.
Oh, okay. So
I have 300s in no tap.
You have bowled 300s in no tap.
Yes.
Which you better do this weekend.
Oh my god.
Well, by the time you guys see this video, no tap for us.
It'll be long gone.
Be over.
Yeah.
But yeah, this weekend you better.
Oh my god, yeah. I plan on it. Because, you know.
I'm hoping I can at least like hang somewhere around like the 180, the 200.
I think you've been throwing a lot of nines. So, y'all don't know what no tap means. So, no tap.
Maybe. I mean, if you're watching a bowling podcast, you.
Yeah. But for those who don't know, no tap is if you shoot 9, like knock down 9 pins, you get a strike.
Any 9.
Any 9. It doesn't matter if it's a 10 pin, head pin, 7 pin, whatever fucking pin.
There is no 5 pins.
There are no 5 pins.
There are no pecker pins in no tap. Thank God.
And oh my god, it's so much fun though. I love going.
Oh, I love
going to Scranton.
I've only done it, I think, 2 years.
Oh my god, it's great. Give me a minute.
I think I've only done it 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. Because the first year we were at the hotel. Yeah. You were there for that one. Mm-hmm. The second year we were at the house.
I was not there because we were not friends.
I would say we were friends. We were kind of taking that.
We were taking a break.
That time off, which was good. We didn't need it because we hung out every day for.
Oh my god! From
straight.
COVID, we were together every day, And then I finally convinced you to come to Fritz, because
Yes.
we needed a fourth person.
Mhm.
It's kind of like deja vu, because that's how it is with you, except my whole team dropped out.
Yeah, so when she moved to my alley, the original plan was for her to be on my team. Not realizing that I was going to have the same 2 people I bowled with the prior year, and my dad was switching to my team, and you can only have teams of 4 unless you have a bowler that's, like, just getting into the league.
Yeah, or like a pacer.
Yeah, pacer, there you go, that's the word. So she had to go on my sister's team, and it was my sister, her fiance
At the time.
Yeah, at the time.
the
They
time.
did get married through the middle of it.
And their
and
friend.
then my sister's friend. And then they all got sanctioned, and I don't know why, but because they played enough games to get sanctioned, they just dropped out.
Yeah.
So she had the option to either stay on her team by herself,
Which I don't want
which
to
you
do.
still could have easily won how many
Oh my god, yeah. Oh my
points
god.
that
The amount
way.
of fucking handicap I would have gotten.
would have been insane.
Dude. I would have been
And
undefeated.
honestly, having them not there, even with them being 10 points under all of their averages, it still was probably more consistent than when they were there.
Mm-hmm.
No offense.
We love you, but
you guys all bowl like me, where you have weeks that you're good, and then you have like a month and a half, where again, just like me, you're like 30
it's just a
pins below
landslide, like
average.
just a drop.
But yeah, but no, she came over to my team because one of our bowlers had to leave because of a medical reason. Nothing serious. He was just having like hand spasms. So, but let's go back to our original topic. Now that we strayed off for like 10 to 15 minutes.
That's what we do, though.
So you said the toxicity started, which we did explain with the ultimatum.
Yeah.
With the owner.
Yeah. I want to say I was 16. I want to say I was like 16 or 17. I was somewhere around there.
Well, it was the second year, right?
Yeah, it was second.
I had my. Did I have my license?
Yes, you did.
Because it was 10th grade that I got my license.
You had your license.
But it was closer to December by the time I got my license.
And then the bowling club didn't start up until January because I took that break because of Christmas break.
Okay.
It was weird because me and the owner were pretty good. I don't want to say friends. We were really good, like, acquaintances.
It was kind of like how he was with everybody.
Yeah.
Kind of.
But I think...
Or like that he saw potential in.
He had a higher standard for me because I bowled outside of the bowling club.
Well, even me.
Yeah.
Not because I bowled outside of the bowling club. But because
you knew what you were doing.
He saw that I wasn't there just for fun. I was there to also try and better myself.
Yeah.
But you know me. I'm okay with taking tips from people if they tell me to do stuff. But when you're up, I'll say, when you're up my ass all night, like every game, every frame,
oh my god,
then it's too much. Which is what he would do.
Like, I do it for shits and giggles. Like...
See, but even you doing shits and giggles, because like it does aggravate me, you're still not every frame.
It's not every frame. It's every now and then. It's like
even last week when I was pulling absolutely shitty, I can only remember you out of 3 games telling me maybe like 10 times.
Yeah.
Saying something.
Yeah. Like, I think I was trying to give you like little like tips. But not telling you what to do.
Yeah.
Like, I was trying to give you advice, like, hey, why don't you try moving over a little bit? Why don't you try moving up a little bit?
Which I was even doing by myself.
Yeah.
You saw all night.
Yeah.
I was all over the place trying to see what was working.
But, so...
I even changed to a plastic ball.
Yeah. But they also have to understand, you're a 2-hand bowler. I'm a 1-hand bowler.
So, there are 2 different types of 2-hand bowlers, too. There are the 2-hand bowlers that don't use any fingers. They simply hold the ball like this.
Yeah, and then there's the ones that use the inserts.
Where I use the 2 middle fingers, but I don't use my thumb.
Yeah.
And then the 2-hand. Which my thumb hole actually doesn't even exist, because it's not allowed to be there.
Nope, because of USBC rules.
It's now classified as a weight hole.
Yes.
So.
Just like, remember my one ball, it's my pickup ball that I have now, how it had that fourth hole?
Mm-hmm.
When that used to be my main ball? Dude.
Well, it was probably legal at that point to have a weight hole, which I think it was.
At the time it was, but that next summer,
mm-hmm.
or by the time summertime came around, we had to get it filled.
Yes. I do remember
because it was illegal.
Because you can still see where
you
where
could see the markings and everything. But going back to the toxic part.
Yeah.
Oh, I could tell you some fucking stories about tournaments, even just tournaments. Like parents just up their kids' ass just about, like, you're not doing this right, you're not doing that right. I've heard parents even say, you're not good enough for this tournament, and getting into their heads.
It's like every other sport. Bowling is no different.
It's no different, and I hate that people like drag down bowling. It's not an actual sport. You have the parents like my dad and her mom. This is the only thing that both of us really have a lot of the same experience on. Yeah. Is that both of our parents are very supportive with it. And it's kind of like with my dad, like he would like to see me have some high games. Yeah. But like he knows low games happen. Yeah. And you have off weeks. Your mom is the same way, where like, she's always congratulating you when you do good, but she also knows. She knows that I hold myself to a higher standard myself. Oh yeah. But I don't let that affect my bowling in any way. Like at tournaments, it's a whole different story because it's what you're supposed to do your best at tournaments, and if you don't, you don't. That's okay. Yeah. But you got to think at tournaments, you're going up against people who have been bowling probably twice as much as me. Well, it's not only that. And not even that, like, higher average. You're going up against people that take it just as seriously as you do, if not more seriously. Yeah. Like, it's not something that, like, probably most of you do where you say to your friends, let's go bowling. Yeah. And then and basically anything under, especially in no tap, anything under, like, 150 to 200 is, like, considered, like, a really low, like, shitty game. Yeah, because it's 9 pins. And then even in regular league play, if you're below like 160, 170, it's still like you're a low scoring bowler. Like, there was this one time. So, I did a bunch of tournaments in juniors for scholarship money. Mm-hmm. Because I qualified for it because of my average. And not even just that, they look at your games throughout the year too. If you're staying consistent with your average, they actually send you a letter in the mail telling you that you need to be at this bowling alley at this date at this time. Regardless of if you can or can't go, you have to be there. Mm-hmm. Like, it's an invitation. Like, you can't get out of it. I mean, you can just not show up, but that looks bad on you. I was gonna say it doesn't look good. And there was this one year, I was just having a really shitty couple months, mm-hmm. And I go to this tournament. I didn't even want to rude. It made a really nice accent like that. Yeah, it did. I did not want to be there, and my mom couldn't go because she had to work because she was the only parent that was supporting me and paying for my bowling. Mm-hmm. Denny's wife had to take me. Bev had to take me the one year. Bev is amazing. Oh my god, I love Beverly. I will say, Beverly has my heart. She was so nice. Oh my god, she's a sweetheart. She's a gem. And so is Denny. Denny's a fucking gem too. But Denny was talking to me before I had to leave because I had to meet her at the bowling alley. Mm-hmm. And he's just giving me these advice. And he's like, what's going on? This was right after, I think it was like 6 months after my coach died from breast cancer. I didn't even know you had a coach to begin with. Mm-hmm. This was the coach I did my privates with. I always thought, like, down at Fritz, it was just... So, Denny worked with the older juniors. Mm-hmm. Bev and my coach worked with the younger juniors, like from like ages of like, I want to say they worked with kids from like 12 to like 14.
Mhm.
And then Denny worked with kids from 15 to when you're about to be done.
Which is
basically 17, almost 18.
Yeah. Usually once you turn 18, then that's
Like, I remember I was going to do another year of juniors going into my senior year, and that's when they changed it to you have to take a certification to be in juniors when you turned 18 because you're a legal adult.
Mhm.
I didn't want to do it, so I'm like, fuck this. I'm going in adult league. This be no problem. No. No. But going back to what I was saying, because we'll get back to that. He's just like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't want to do this without my coach. Because she went to every tournament with me. She drove me to every tournament.
Mhm.
Because my mom couldn't go because she'd work on weekends. And I'm sitting in the car, you know, I'm being silent like I always do in the car going to tournaments.
Of course.
I've always done that. Like from the age of like, for 10 years now, I've done that.
Oh, I remember when we went to No Tap the first year together.
For 10 years.
You were.
Yeah. So the reason why I do that is I'm getting myself focused and ready and just kind of going through all the things that I need to remember to do, like keep my shoulders straight, keep my hips straight, make sure, you know, everything's aligned right. Like I go through my positioning and everything.
Mhm.
And I go through what I need to remember, what my goals are. Excuse me. And and along with that, I just have to remember to have fun, which is very hard for me to do when everyone puts all of their eggs in one basket and I'm that one basket.
Mhm.
They've done that for years with me because the minute that I threw, I think it was my 700 series.
Mhm.
Remember, I was 19, about to be 20, and I threw my 700 series.
Yeah.
And
I should close that.
that's when everybody started putting everything on me. Like, I'm so glad at Jordan's, they don't do that. Like, your dad doesn't do that with me. You don't do, because you know what it does to me.
Oh, yeah.
You know how stressed I can get when people fucking do that to me. They do it at Fritz's all the time on Wednesdays. And it's like, okay, I'm just here to bowl and kind of get my foot in the door. That is the biggest problem I had at Jordan's. I could not get my foot in the door. I could not find my comfort spot for the first, 6 months.
Which is why, I was glad when I at least knew you were going to Jess's team.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of had.
I was comfortable.
I kind of had hopes that you would still have a little bit of comfort.
Yeah.
I mean, as you said, you still couldn't really find it.
I think it was also just my anxiety.
Well, it's a new league. And you're going from 10 lanes to
40.
I think there's over 40.
Yeah, there's 42 lanes.
Yeah.
And which blows my mind coming from somebody who bowled in a house with 10 lanes to now moving to a house with over 40 lanes, which, by the way, in my head seems illegal. That seems illegal to me.
In my head, yours, it's so tiny.
I know.
Because I grew up with these big 40, 50, 60 lane bowling alleys.
And that's also the difference between me and you. Just the way we grew up with bowling
yeah.
just blows my mind. It's like, okay, you have me. I grew up in a small town with 2 bowling alleys. He grew up in a town that had 3 to 4 bowling alleys.
Well, there was no bowling alleys directly in my town. There still isn't.
No, but it's what? A 10-minute drive?
Yeah. From
your dad's house to Jordan's?
Yeah.
And on top of that, you have Asia lanes.
Well, there's Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
There's, I think the one that you said, the Haja bowling.
Yeah. Oh, there's one more.
Rose.
Yeah, Rose Bowl. Oh, I love Rose Bowl. It's such a good house.
There's probably more. Oh God, no.
There's gotta be more.
Oh God, no. The last time we were at Rose Bowl, I don't know if it's because we were there for open bowling, or if you just haven't been there in a while. The lanes were so inconsistent.
I haven't been there
horrible.
in like 6 years.
The lanes were awful.
Listen, if I'm gonna go to,
There was oil spots, not like strips.
there's spots.
Like, you know how
There's always been spots.
You know how there's usually like, okay, like the middle is oily, the edges aren't, or like the edges are oily, the middle isn't. No, it was like just random patches of oil on the lane, and it was just.
It's crazy.
And they just kept changing.
Yeah, they just
It was
kept
like
changing.
the patches were like teleporting as you were bowling.
Yeah, they just kept changing. Like, so the one year I did junior masters at Rose Bowl.
How toxic was that?
Oh,
Because I'm trying
don't
to
even get me
I'm trying
started.
to stick to the toxic.
Dude, the owners.
Again with owners.
Oh my God. This was before I got my own shoes.
Okay.
So I went up to the desk to get a pair of shoes. And they saw I was in bowling attire. And they looked at me like I was a felony for asking for a pair of shoes even though I'm in bowling attire. But
Well, how young were you?
I was like 12.
See, and okay.
I was like 12.
So I got my bowling shoes around the same time.
Yeah.
They still fit somehow. Don't ask. I don't know. My feet have grown, but they still fit.
I didn't get my first pair of actual bowling shoes until it was for my 15th birthday. It was my 15th birthday.
Which honestly isn't a bad time to get them, because you got to think, if you get them any sooner than that,
yeah,
you're just gonna outgrow them within like a year or two.
Yeah.
And bowling shoes are
expensive.
They're like just as expensive as getting like a pair of Nikes.
Yeah.
So,
if not more.
And you can only use them for bowling.
Yeah, like, I mean, you see me, like, I'll walk out in my fucking bowling shoes.
Yeah, but that's different.
if the ground's wet,
you're not like gonna go hang out with your friends like
no,
we are right now
no,
and then wear your bowling shoes.
You know,
you
my bowling equipment is like my child.
Oh, it's like me with my
like,
cars.
Yeah, like
and
know,
my
they
mechanic
are my
equipment.
children. Which is really bad to say, like that's my mentality. But I grew up basically with one income in the house. So I had to take care of my stuff, and thankfully that grew with me. Like that just went on with me. Like my most recent ball, that was $300. It was like $250 plus shipping and handling, plus getting the inserts in.
Plus drilling.
Plus drilling, which is an extra $50. And
the inserts surprisingly aren't expensive.
No, they're
actually,
like $10.
They're not. They're actually
for
fairly
two
cheap.
inserts, they're like $10. But the shipping and handling, that was like, I want to say like $30. Drilling is $10, and inserts are $10. So right there's your $50.
Plus the ball.
Plus the ball, which is $250.
Which is why I haven't gotten a new ball yet.
Dude.
Because it's crazy. And the one that I want, I think, is even more than the one that she... Because, what, mine's like...
Which one are we talking about
4?
out of mine? We're talking about my newest one or
well,
my
remember,
Crocs?
I want the...
You want the Black Widow.
The Black Widow.
Yeah, you want the... Oh my god, those are
Because that
worth it,
ball is
though.
specifically designed for two
Dude.
handers.
The Black Widow's so worth it.
Yeah, but it's specifically designed for two-handers.
And one thing with Black Widows, with hammer balls, is that they last. They last a long
Well, even
time.
the storm balls.
Dude.
One of my balls, like my primary ball, I bought off of her.
Mm-hmm.
So
Because I got a new ball.
Still has her name engraved on it.
You can get that filled in.
And
you know that, right?
And ironically, here's the reason why I don't. Ironically enough, my second ball that I bought used, like it was a house ball that I bought. Ironically enough, before I even bought hers, had the name Carol engraved on it.
That is my mother's
Which is her
name.
mother's name.
Carol Merrill!
That's kind of why I don't want to get it filled, because I have Justine and Carol in my bowling bag at all time.
But toxic, like how toxic tournaments can get. Even at Scranton, I see it at Scranton.
Oh, trust me. Like, I'll explain a toxic situation that happened last year that I don't even think you were there for.
You were telling me about this, though.
So there's this one bowler that him and his dad are like super high standard bowlers.
Like they think that they're the professionals of the league.
Even though she can beat them,
I have.
But they show up to like typical league play, which is meant for you to obviously get sanctioned, get your average up, like.
It's meant for practice.
Practice, average, sanction, all of that is what you're supposed to do at league play.
Yeah.
They always show up, but a lot of people just kind of use it for fun, like me. Like, it's something to do, it's fun, but you can also, like,
it's to get you out of the house for
you get money at the end of the year.
Yeah.
You do stuff like we're going to no tap, you can earn money. But they always, every week, or at least the kid, always has to have a league shirt on.
Always.
I don't know, do you have your league shirt with you, or did you?
I left, like, my jersey?
Yeah.
I left that at home.
Okay.
Next time I'll bring it in.
But they always have to wear, like, the league pro shirt.
The dad, not so much anymore. Like, I've seen him wear just regular, like, polos.
Yeah. But last year, at No Tap, it was terrible. And this is why I'm not saying their name. So we stayed at a house, which is the same one this year. So first off, a lot of drama started because they were bitching about there being nothing to do at the house. And they were bored. Even though there's a zoo not that far away, there's, you can go get food not that far away. There's like another activity similar to the zoo. I think an aquarium. That's what it is. There's an aquarium
because it's within a mall.
Or like we had a whole house. There was a pool table down. There was 2 arcade machines down there. Like it's a really nice house. Like the TV with full cable, blah blah blah. I don't know. Watch TV, play pool, sit outside.
Drink.
I know that's what I did. I sat outside a lot. Yeah, drink if it's nighttime.
Yeah.
But like, so first issue stemmed there, where they were just bored and complaining. But then we went to the actual bowling itself. And, one, it's very busy.
It is.
So, like, even if you're respectful, like my sister did, and you bowl, and immediately after your turn is done, you go to get a drink, you are not going to be back when you're up again. Like, that, it's just that chaotic, you're not going to make it back on time.
No.
But they have it scheduled where certain groups come in at certain times.
Yeah.
But they do...
But they're never on
They
time.
do kind of take into consideration, like, that, as you said, nothing is ever on schedule.
No.
So, everybody's expecting that anyway.
But it's good to be on time.
But we ran into the issue last year of him and his dad were complaining that, like, Jessica would go up to get a drink and she's not back yet. Or she'd go to the bathroom. She's not back by her turn starts. Or even, like, me involved on this one. Going out to smoke. Keep in mind, we're either vaping or smoking cigarettes, which can take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. Usually it doesn't even take me any longer than 10 minutes with a cigarette. After every game, as soon as I would finish up my last frame, I'd immediately put my booties on and go out and smoke. And he was complaining that I was coming back 1-2 minutes late after my name would come up on the screen that I was up.
Boo fucking who?
Like, everything was just absolute complaining this year, which is why they weren't invited to come up with us this year.
That's why. I got invited instead because your dad knows.
I mean, you would have gotten invited.
Well, yeah, but your dad also knows I'm very respectful when it comes to that. Plus, I go outside myself.
Yeah.
Like.
And if somebody, like, were to text us and be like, hey, you're about to be up, all right? I don't care how much is left in my ciggy, I'll put it out and come back in.
Yeah. Like, your dad likes it that I'm very respectful of other people when it comes to tournaments. Because I get it.
Well, that's the thing. Me and you, not even like bowling specifically.
We're just respectful.
We're raised with the respectful mindset.
Yes.
Which is also another problem on why a lot of bowling is toxic, is because people were
People don't have respect.
People were always raised, or they seem to be more raised with the mindset of like everything was handed to them, which goes with anything. But even in bowling, you see it where like they wanted that ball, they'd get it.
Yeah.
Or like
going back to the kid, the other week, I was bowling like, I don't want to say right next to him, but I was like the next pair to the left of him.
So there was two teams between.
Yes.
So there were two lanes.
He would throw. Oh, I want to say it was like a 10 pin or something like that.
Oh, and then you'd have to come back and like hit the ball return.
Yes, he'd hit the ball return. That is so disrespectful.
He does that every time. I can't tell you how many times I've heard or seen him punch the ball return, or the touch thing for the screens.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense. Keep in mind, this is a guy that'll punch the ball return and do that, and yet still bowl like a 230 or a 240.
It's like, what are you throwing a tantrum about? Like, one, he's a grown ass man.
Oh,
he's like what, in his 30s?
I don't know how old he is. He's definitely older than me though.
Yeah, he's definitely older than us, and like I've never done that. As pissed off as I get at League,
I've come back and I've like tapped it. Like, don't get me wrong, I've gotten like, there's been a handful of times I've gotten mad, but I don't like wail on it.
Well, it's like, you see what I do. If I don't get a throw that I like, you'll see, I'll just lightly like hit my hand.
Or you'll see like I'll come back to, as I said, like the keypad thing, and I'll kind of like
you'll just lightly.
I'll go like this.
You'll just lightly tap
I'll like
it.
bounce my hand on it.
You'll just bounce your hand on it. But
no, like, this is like, you can hear it like a good like
you could hear
15
like,
lanes
down. It's
not
loud.
More. Like it goes through the whole alley.
He's lucky he hasn't broken anything yet.
I'm surprised that he hasn't been kicked out. Speaking of people getting kicked out, that guy at League.
I'm home now, but thanks. Oh, are you broadcasting?
Yeah.
We're not live.
We're not live.
We're filming a podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm the one that's gonna say hi.
But speaking of that guy from like a month and a half ago, the older, now this is an older guy. I forget how exactly it started, but there were 2 weeks in a row I vividly remember him saying the same thing twice. Where something happened with the team he was bowling or his own teammates, where he said, if you're just here for fun,
don't come.
Don't fucking come.
Yeah. He said that to me.
Which 90% of the people that are there, let's be honest, as I said before, like me, they're there mainly for fun. They give themselves something to do, but like when you join a league, as I said, there's benefits. Like one, every week you're going out, you're doing something.
You're getting better.
And then, as I said, you get money back at the end of the season. So there's still the incentive there, or like you can still get prize money in League, like
the 50-50.
Yeah, the 50-50, strike pot.
Yeah, the strike pot.
Which we've had some people win like $400 off strike pot because it takes how long.
A lot. Like, I remember the one.
I think he only hit it once. He's gotten called a couple times, but he only got it once.
Yeah.
Which I think was like for like $180 or $200.
Yeah. Sorry, my phone's like blowing up.
Mine's over there.
It's Instagram.
Oh.
Because of my post.
Which, by the way, by the time the next podcast happens, this will probably not be the recording situation.
No.
One, the couch will probably be up against this wall because there's a lot over here that you guys can't see that actually looks really cool as a backdrop.
Yeah.
Also, I have 2 Canon cameras, which we're going to set up to have... This is going to be funky. Because we're going to have one set on both of us.
Yeah.
But then we're going to have another one that we're going to have to, like, move back and forth when we're talking. Like, whoever's primary talker.
Yeah.
So that when I go back and edit it, I can kind of...
Yeah. But I was pulling against... I think it was Michelle's team. I want to say it was Michelle. Michelle. But the one guy that's on her team, it's like the only guy on her team. I can't remember his name for the life of me. I think it's like Dave or something like that. It's a real old man.
There's only a handful of guys that I remember out of
Yeah.
All of them are cute as hell. Not gonna say any names on here.
But
there are a couple cuties on
yeah, but they said that your dad got the strike pot.
Was that the night that he actually
Yes, it's the night that he actually got it. And all I can hear is Michelle going, "God damn it, Michael." And I'm like, "Oh my god." I'm like, "What did he do?"
See, so there's still good moments, but
there's also the bad.
There's always got to be. There's always just as much bad in bowling, it seems like, as there is good.
Yeah. Like, there can never just be good. Like, it has to balance. Like, I could tell you a lot of incidents at Fritz with toxic. Like, there's this one guy that I bowl with on Wednesday nights. It's this old man. He's a bitter man. So whenever he practices, like, you know, you get the 10 minutes of practice or however long you get of practice.
I think it's 10.
I think it's 10 minutes,
I know it's 10 where we bowl. Well, where we both bowl.
Yeah, I think it's like 8 minutes at Fritz, something like that. It's near 10 minutes.
That's because you have a lot less bowlers.
Yeah, so. That too. But I remember he goes up the throw, and I'm about to start my approach. All of a sudden, he starts walking in front of me, like coming over, like walking across the approach and coming on my side. Because he started on the other side. And then I'm on this side. And when I tell you, I slammed my ball on the ball rack.
I know what it sounds like when you slam your ball back down. Because you've done it a couple times.
I make it known that
you pissed me off.
Yeah. And it's only 5 minutes into practice too. And
I'm trying to fix our Mustang. You kind of drug it down. Like at the beginning, you could see it.
Yeah. But he started yelling at me, saying, "You're being disrespectful, blah, blah, blah." And I made one comment. I'm like, "Then why are you walking in front of me while I'm trying to bowl and trying to do my approach?" It's like, who gave you that right to do that? I'm like, last time I checked, you're not the fucking president. We don't talk about politics here.
Which, speaking, not a president. As she said, this is not a political. We might get into a political one, but this one is not it.
Yeah.
Even last weekend, like the weekend that just passed, you saw, so intentionally, if you ever go to a bowling alley, especially you guys who don't bowl leagues, the reason why there's always a set of empty lanes in between open bowling and league play is because there's something called bowling courtesy.
Yes. Which
is not only courtesy, it is also for your safety.
Oh, these people.
Because a lot of people throw like me, where when we throw, we kick our right leg behind our left leg. Yep. And it goes out really, like if we're throwing for a 10 pin especially,
you have to be all the way.
Our leg is going to sweep like halfway in front of your lane.
Yeah. Especially with the way I throw too, because I get down.
We had an open bowler last week as I'm up to bowl. I literally just started taking my first like step or two. And mind you, once you start walking, it's kind of hard to just like stop and reset.
Especially
so you just kind of keep going. But right as I start to take my first step or two, there's an open bowler that walks down onto our league's, like our league patio where, like, you know, you go down and the 4 lanes are open with the seats, and walks on
over
the lane to the left of me. Walks on the lane to the left of me that doesn't have any leagues because we're right at the end. That's our spacer lane. Walks there, up next to the ball return and next to me, to walk in front of it back down to go sit with his friend who's open bowling on the lane next to us.
And Your dad said something.
Oh, I know he did.
Dude, he was pissed.
I was ready.
I was pissed.
I was hoping that I would have timed it right to kick him. Not gonna lie. Because, like, it happens so often.
And you wanna know what the fucked up part was? He kept talking shit on your dad, too. Like, he kept looking back, seeing if your dad was back there.
Oh, I know, he kept looking. I saw him, too.
Yeah, he kept
But
looking
every
back.
time that he looked back, as soon as I looked at him, he turned around again.
Yeah. And I said something to him.
I didn't know this.
I said something to
I
him.
want to know what you said to him.
All I said was, "Are you disrespectful?" He's like, "No." I'm like, and then I'm like, "I don't know about that." I'm like, "You just walked in front of a fucking bowler who
You
was
just
trying
did
to
the
go."
most disrespectful thing.
I
you
said
did,
that. I'm like, "You were doing the most disrespectful thing that you could do to a bowler."
which is walking next to him.
Like, it's different if it's open bowling. That's different.
Which even then, honestly,
you should still have courtesy.
you should still have that courtesy
Yes.
because, as I said, there is still the potential that you can get kicked.
Yes, you should always be aware of your surroundings. No matter who the fuck you are, no matter who you're with, if you're trying to show off to some fucking girl, which he was trying to do.
I don't think it worked all that.
No, it didn't. Because he kept throwing gutter balls.
Because I didn't. Oh my god, yeah, that's right. I watched him.
No,
but
do you
I
wanna know
was laughing
why?
So hard because I went gutter roll, gutter
Do you want to
roll,
know why he kept doing that?
Why?
I kept coughing really loud.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. I was being a
I
little
think-
bit of a bitch.
He walked next to me. What was it? Right at the end of the second game, I think.
It was like the middle of the third game.
Was it?
Yeah, it was like the middle of the third
Which
game.
was, it was still a shitty game for me, but it was actually one of my better games because after he walked up next to me like that, I was like, all right, now I gotta be a dick.
Now you
the
got
second half of my game was really good.
Now you have to be a dick.
Yeah, because I saw him guttering and I was like, all right,
Oh
my
my God,
time
this
to
is
shine.
karma.
I was like, my
Dude.
time to shine.
Dude, the bowling gods were with us. Dude. And, like, that's also, like, how toxic a bowling alley can be. It's just regular customers. Just being rude. And I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what he said to your
well,
dad.
Well, what about? I don't think he said much of anything because
I think he just shook his head. He goes, "Yes, I understand."
When my dad went up to him.
Oh
he-
my God,
he-
your dad was fuming.
Oh yeah. No.
He
my,
was fuming.
my dad is not one to mess with when he's angry.
No. That's kind of why I let
But-
him.
Even at Fritz, I think before I started leaguing down there, or at some point, you were there with me the night that I did kick somebody.
Mhm.
You,
I think it was a child,
No, not.
or was it an adult?
It was. I was like a
like a
high
teen.
schooler, I think. is
Yeah, it
what
was like a teen.
But they all came in. I think we were already there.
Yeah, we were
And-
like
and-
halfway through our game.
And they walked up next to me, and I think either you or me said, hey, like, I think it was you, that was like, hey, we're league bowlers, we understand it's open, but you were like, just be careful, especially with you being on the left side of us.
Yes.
Because you said, you told them exactly, like, our legs will kick over that way.
Mhm.
And I picked up my ball and started walking up, and they did one of those things where they, like, quickly grab it and try to run up and throw it. And I think we threw it at the same time, and it was the perfect timing where they threw it and I threw it. So their ball was already out of their hand. So I missed getting hit in the leg with their ball. But I think I remember kicking them, like, in the calf or some shit.
Yeah. You know what's funny? That same kid,
Oh, they didn't do it again.
that same kid
Mhm.
joined Wednesday nights.
But they didn't go up again.
That same kid joined Wednesday nights, which I bowl on.
Is he still as toxic?
Oh my God, yeah. Oh my God, yeah. And there was this one time I was trying to bowl ahead for something. I think it's because I had Scranton that one weekend. This
This
was
is probably last year.
this was last year because I went in November last year.
We should honestly see if we can bowl ahead for this weekend.
Oh, do we
Because
have bowling? This
We
weekend?
do have bowling this weekend. But with us having no tab, we're not going to be there. So
Do we still have to pay?
Yes.
Even that's fucked up.
If we're not there, you still have to.
That's fucked up. Like, we're doing something that's bowling related. Like, they should just give us that grace pass.
No, I think it's this weekend. Okay.
Uh-huh.
which is our no tap, and then it's a week off, and then it's our fun night where you don't have to pay.
Okay.
Where then they go over like Pecker King, Pecker Queen. They give out all the toilet paper rolls for the one.
Oh, you're getting
one.
one.
I know I am.
You're getting one.
I don't know. I bowled one last year and I didn't get it. So
I think it's if you bowl a lot, like several of them.
And then what else? I mean, we obviously bowl, but oh yeah, and then we get our money back.
Yes.
So like your placement money and then like the extra money, because you are obviously putting in more during the time.
Yeah. But yeah, that kid you kicked was really fucking cocky too. Like he thought he was like king shit.
He got pissed at me, but he never went up and bowled next to me
never
again.
said anything.
None of them did. None of
No.
them ever walked up next to me or
No.
her again when we went up. Because she did the same thing too, where she almost kicked him, but that wasn't enough.
But here's
for
the
her to
thing:
turn.
when I kick my leg out, you know, I kick.
Well, me and you, when we know somebody is repeatedly going up next to us, because that's what happened. They did it a couple times before.
Oh, I'll
did
move
it.
myself over.
I intentionally will move myself over and like donkey kick my leg. Donkey kick to the side.
And what I'll do to be petty is I'll leave my leg out on their lane until my ball is done. I will wait. Like I will stand there and wait. Because I am that fucking petty. I have the right to be petty though, because I've done this for over 10 years. I've done this for almost 20 years.
Well, it's not just that. When you're being disrespected, you might as well disrespect back.
Yeah, and it's like, you know I hate disrespect. Like,
the only time league bowlers get disrespected and it's okay is during open play when there are kids that walk up next to you.
yes, we can't get mad at the kids because they, especially if they're little kids. Like, if they're like,
and usually the parents are good about like, hang on, let them go.
yeah,
But
like sometimes the parents just can't catch it in time.
Yeah.
And I won't get mad at the kids because they don't know any better. They don't know.
And we will patiently sit there and wait our ass off for you to
Especially if
throw
they have the ramp. I wait till they take the ramp away because
Dude,
that's when I know the kids are done.
I'm usually standing there and I'm like,
For like a good, like-
I got my ball like this, but like at my lap. I mean, you guys can't see that far down.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm just kind of sitting here like holding it like a child.
Yeah. Sugar Daddy.
Sugar
19972 commented on my post with a bunch of heart eye emojis and hearts.
I want to see. Is that
just a little information for you guys.
Is that Brandon?
No, it's a bot.
Yo, get some money, girl. Come on.
Wait, I have to see.
We're gonna take a quick commercial.
Did he
break.
follow me?
We're gonna take a quick commercial break.
Did he fucking follow me? Oh, I need to know if he
You
followed
should
me.
show them the picture with me hiding.
Oh, I have to now.
Cause I was skipping rocks, and Brandon was like, "Move, you're in the picture." And I tried to.
He's
hide.
right behind the tree.
See me in the picture. None of them noticed until
Until you
she
commented.
posted it and didn't even notice it until I commented and said, "Oh, I guess I didn't hide that great."
It's great. Hold on.
Did anybody else notice it?
Brandon did.
Did anybody else actually like comment and say anything?
No. Oh, right. Back to the kids. Like, you can't get mad at, like, okay. So if they're older than, like, 7 years old and they understand discipline,
Mhm.
then you can get mad at them. Like, if they're from the ages of, like 8
Alyssa,
on,
Harley, Brandy.
like, they have no excuse. I'm so thankful your dad engraved the rules into Harley's head. I'm so grateful.
She does make mistakes every now and then,
But
like
there are a
everybody's
lot
going
of rules you have to remember.
to. Like there was even me where like there will be some frames where I'll go up and I don't go up onto the lanes, but like I'll grab my ball and then I'll be like, because like I'll be like somebody was throwing next to me, and I'm like I know I don't like when somebody grabs their ball while
I do a little grace period You see me do it all the time.
Well, you see with my dad, dude, I'll just grab my ball. I don't care.
Well, your dad.
Because, like, he's already said, like, you're not going to distract me grabbing your ball.
He's done it for so long.
So, there's certain people that you can do it, certain people you can't. Like, you see me, half of the time I won't even step on the lane until their ball hits the end.
I don't know if you remember. Do you remember Jimmy Dean? It's the left-handed bowler that's always in the bowling alley.
Current league or Fritz?
Fritz. He was always in there whenever we went bowling on Friday nights. And he always sit there and try and give us tips.
Yes.
Like he
yes,
tried. Dude, he was teaching Harley how to pick up a ball.
Because he gave me the rag that I left there.
Yeah.
Or at some alley that
Yeah.
I don't have anymore.
Yeah.
Because I left it.
Dude.
Which is depressing.
He is pissing off so many people on Wednesday nights, dude. Like, he...
Piss off people on Wednesday nights.
Well, he critiques people.
This is more toxicity.
He critiques people.
I said always critiquing people.
And the one time he tried to give me a critique, I made a comment. I'm like, listen, I've been doing this for 16 years. I know what I'm doing. I know what I did wrong. I don't need to hear from somebody else. Like, I know, like, I was too far over. Like, I didn't hit my mark, yada, yada, yada. And there he is. He's like, oh, you missed your mark. I'm like, I don't give a shit. I know. It's like, no fucking shit. And I was just in a bad mood this one night on Wednesday nights. It was right after my mom's surgery.
Okay.
It was right after her surgery. I was not in the mind frame to even be there.
Yeah.
And, of course, I'm bowling against him because he's also a captain.
Mm-hmm.
And he could just see I was not in the zone. Like, I bowled average, but I just did not want to be there. Like, I left after the second game.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted to get enough games in to be sanctioned.
Which, between all the leagues, you definitely did.
Yeah. But he comes up to me. He goes, what's wrong? He goes, there's something wrong with you today. And the look I fucking gave him, I'm like, well, let's see. Oh, I went down the fucking list. I'm like, well, let's see. I was in the hospital, or I was at the hospital for almost 12 hours yesterday, waiting for my mom to get out of a dangerous surgery. My mom had open heart surgery. She's in the ICU now. She can't even walk right now because she wasn't allowed out of bed and all that. I'm like she has a 10-inch incision. I'm her emergency contact, so I have to take care of all of her medical stuff. In a span of a day, I had to take care of all of this. And I'm like, so on top of that, I don't need your bullshit. Like, I got nasty. Like, swearing up and down to him, which I don't swear at him. But this was, Denny even told me, he goes, you have every right to explode today. He goes, you just sat in the hospital for way longer than you should have.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was going stir crazy. Like, I didn't know what the fuck to do with myself. And oh no, I just sat there in silence.
I honestly, I probably would.
I just sat there. I'm like just praying. I don't believe in any God. Like, I believe in science. That's what I believe in. I believe in, like, solid facts.
I'm pretty sure you can see the box that I have behind you.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I stunned him with everything that was going on because you never expect that to come out of my mouth. And on top of that, there was this one guy. So Brandon, Kyle, and Charlie all were at the bowling alley with me because they were waiting for a lane. This one guy. This is a different guy now. This one guy throwing a fucking hissy fit because they took his quote unquote seat. You know this. Technically, the bowler should be sitting in the front by the ball return because you never know if there's going to be a spill in the back row. You never know if, it's like wet back there or like anything. And you're not supposed to put chalk on the floor. You know that. You're not supposed to put chalk.
No, I'm pretty sure.
Like the powdered stuff that you can put on the bottom of your shoes.
I'm pretty sure in No Tap that is illegal.
It is illegal. It's illegal in leagues too.
Yeah.
So if we haven't we don't have any technical USBC officers. If they would come in and see that he's doing that, he would have gotten banned. Because 1, illegal. 2, you're corrupting other bowlers. You're corrupting their approach.
Because it makes your feet slide more, but then it also adds that powder.
Oh no, it makes me stick.
The powder?
Yeah, it makes me stick because the way that I bowl.
Yeah.
I don't slide. I just go up and throw. I don't slide.
But no, if you are a slide bowler,
that's
it makes
perfect for you.
Slide more. But then you also got to think if there's other bowlers like me that slide after you, we're not going up with the knowledge that there's a slick surface.
But
so that could throw us over the foul line or just fall in general. So,
I fell. Because I stuck that much, I fell backwards. Right after I threw my ball, I fell backwards, and I'm pissed.
I would be.
I'm pissed. It takes a lot for me to get that heated at bowling specifically.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's my release place. That's where I let go of everything that's going on. And I searched for him too. I went up to him. I'm like, you motherfucker. He's like, what? I'm like, you left your chalk on the fucking floor behind the seats. And I just fell on my ass. And it's your fucking fault. I'm like, if my shoes are ruined, because I scuffed. I scuffed the shit out of my shoes.
The sides or the bottom?
Yeah, the sides and the bottoms. I fucked up. Thank God Denny could fix it. All he had to do was... Because my pad came off.
Oh, you stuck that hard?
I stuck that hard that my pad that came off. And I go to Denny. I'm like, Denny, I can't bowl the rest of the game. He's like, why? And after he said why, all I did was hold up my pad. He's like... He just went from being happy to
how?
He even asked me. He's like, how? I'm like, ask Mike. I'm like, ask dipshit. I called him fucking dipshit.
Yeah.
And Denny actually kicked him out for the night because he did damage to another bowler's shoe, which is also illegal. There's a lot of legal things that people don't know.
Hence why I don't have a thumb hole in my ball. Because I think it's actually even in league play.
Yeah, it's illegal in league play too.
If you have any holes, this is the way I think that they define it now. If there's any hole in your ball, it must have a finger in it.
Yes, and if you are sanctioned, so if you're just starting out and you're still trying to figure out if you want to do one hand or if you want to bowl two hand, you have, I think it's a month grace period.
I'm not sure on the grace period, but I know any hole you have to have a finger in it when you throw.
You have a grace period on figuring out if you want to be sanctioned as a one-handed bowler, or if you want to make that switch to two. If you make that switch and you're sanctioned under two, you have to get it filled.
Has to.
There is no getting around it. There is no saying, well, I use one hand to make my pickups, yada, yada, yada.
And it's not just the thumb hole. I think even if you're the bowler that uses no fingers,
you have to get them all filled.
I think you have to have no holes in that ball. But even with two fingers or two holes, I should say, even with two holes and no holes, there has to be a mark,
yeah,
on where your palm has to sit. Now, if you have two holes, there's only one mark that has to say where your palm has to sit.
It has to be an X.
If you have no holes, there has to be something that has to say where your palm has to sit and which directions your finger has to face. And that's so that, like, you can't turn the ball to get a different type of reaction out of it.
Did you have any questions for me on, like, toxic?
No.
No?
I've seen a lot of toxicity.
Oh, there was this one parent in juniors. So, you know who Kendra is.
William?
No. The one that I used to bowl with at Fritz. She was always on the fucking board. I don't think you ever met her.
I don't think I did. I saw her name, but I
don't think you ever met her. Her dad. Oh my god. So.
Cunt bag. Cunt bag.
Not even just that. Fucking perfectionist.
Oh,
like, you see how I want to be perfect all the time with bowling? Multiply that by 10.
Oh god.
Multiply that by, well, granted, this man does have like 8 300s.
I can't imagine multiplying that by anything.
Because mine's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Mine is pretty bad. Like, you see, I have my routine.
Yes.
Like, and I keep it to a T every week. And I don't know if it's just because that's my OCD or if that's just because I was raised with. What?
You just take bowling very seriously.
I do.
That's all it is. You just take bowling very seriously. Is he in your phone as Bay?
No.
What is he in your phone as?
Poppy.
Uh-huh.
You know his contact name.
Bone Daddy.
Bone Daddy. And then in...
It's her boyfriend.
Yeah, it's my boyfriend.
Surprise, it's not me.
No, he's my gay husband.
Yeah. I don't have... Oh, wait. I don't have my wedding
I don't
ring.
have mine either.
But I do have a ring. One that a straight guy gave me.
But... So, this dad... He would always take me to, like, Pepsi, Junior Masters.
Wait. They just have a tournament called Pepsi?
Yeah, it's a scholarship
I'm
tournament.
sorry, you gotta explain this
So,
Pepsi one to me.
Pepsi, you have to qualify for.
My mom would love Pepsi.
Pepsi, you have to qualify for, and it's only for juniors. There is no Pepsi in the adult league.
That's kind of...
So, for Pepsi...
Is there a Coke in the adult league? Like, one has one?
No. No, I don't know. It's short for something. It's short for something.
Oh, so it's not actually like...
No, it's an abbreviation.
I thought it was like legitimately like
No.
sponsored by Pepsi.
No, it's an abbreviation. I think it used to be sponsored by Pepsi, if I'm being honest. I think it used to be. And then I think they just lost their sponsorship.
But just kept the name.
Yeah.
Because it worked.
Well, they've had that for like 20 plus years.
My car wall is crooked.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
if you can see it, but this line of cars is
Yeah, I
is a
can
little
see
fucked
it.
up.
I can see it. So they do qualification weeks, which is the most stressful fucking time.
I don't even want to know.
Oh my god. Like, so you have 4 weeks to qualify. And you have to excel your average. Like, you need to be above your average every fucking game. I hated Pepsi.
There's no way in hell
I
I do.
hated Pepsi, dude.
And like, I have a low average. I have like what's considered shit.
You
And-
would make it in regardless because of your average. The only ones that have
it's
to
a 141.
still, you have, like, if your average is above like a 150, you have to qualify for it.
But I'm not above one.
So, but you make it in right away because you don't got to qualify for anything because there's not a lot of bowlers that have a 140 average in juniors anymore because everyone takes it so fucking seriously that they want to, by the age of like 16, they all want to have like a 200 average, which I can say I did.
I just want like a 160.
I know.
And like, I'm almost 22.
I know.
Like,
And then there's me that's like, I want a 200 average in every fucking league that I do. But I know
which
that
you do have 1 and 1. Or you did at one point.
I did in the beginning of the year.
So
I'm right there. I'm in the 190s right now on Wednesdays, which is pretty fucking good if you ask me.
oh yeah. No, you're higher than my dad. I mean, my dad is
Oh, if they
getting a
go
little
with my highest average this year,
Mhm.
it's gonna be like a 209. It's gonna be a 209 average.
So there is no handicap for you, or at least
Nope.
not a lot.
Not a lot.
You might actually be giving pins.
Oh, I'm probably. That's if they take that average. That's still from when they were going through the sanction.
Mm-hmm.
But my dumbass also said, "Oh, let's just throw all 200 games the first fucking like month."
Me, they're probably gonna take somewhere like high 130s, low 140s.
Yeah.
Which is great. Which is why me and her go in together on doubles.
Yeah.
One, because we're friends. Two, because
see, and like
it actually works out really good.
Yeah, but going back to Pepsi, so I qualified every year because,
of course,
because I qualified for everything I fucking did. Fucking little overachiever I am.
You're just a really good bowler.
I know. I don't give myself enough credit. I really don't.
You do not.
So there was this one year, the Pepsi tournament. Already knew I was going to qualify for it, or like trying to qualify for it. They sent me a personal email saying I have been
pre-selected.
Yeah, pre-selected for Pepsi, and that the state paid for it because the year before that I was number 2 in the state. So they already knew who I was. They already knew that I mean business when I go to tournaments.
This girl knows what she's doing.
Yeah. And I even sent them back. I'm like, I sent an email back. I'm like, can I still, like, I said, quote unquote, qualify, like, go through the qualification period just for shits and giggles. And they're like, no. I'm like, well, fuck.
Why not?
I'm like, why not?
What else am I supposed to do?
Yeah, I'm like, well, I still had league, so I could do league play, but I couldn't, because there were 2 different groups. There were the ones that, because you had a choice.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's the sun's starting to set, and now there's like so much light on your side. You're turning white as hell. We have like this big ass. Hang on, I don't feel like putting my crotch in front of it.
Why don't you put it on the chair?
It won't stay. What if I just put it?
No, because then it'll blacken me out. Oh, that's not bad.
Does that work?
That's fine.
What if I like?
You know what I'll have to do?
Oh God, it's.
You know what I'll have to do next time?
Makes you look like horror movie status.
I'll have to bring Brandon's ring light next time.
Does that look better? Honestly, that actually does. We have like this square light.
Yeah.
Or like this rectangle.
I'll have the
it also gives the more the mood up.
Yeah.
So.
But no, but it was weird that like I have no idea who these fucking people were, but they knew who I was. And I'm like,
that's always how it is with me.
Like the people at Scranton, I know the minute they see my name, they know who I am. Because there's not a lot of, 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds that can throw a 300 at no tap. Like, it's simple. Like, it's a lot of mental preparation for it, too.
I think I hit my first 200 last year at no tap.
Yeah.
I hit my first 200 last year at no tap and did not get a single fucking thing for it.
And you know what's going to suck? If I want to win anything from the jackpot, I have to pretty much be perfect the whole entire time.
Jesse, I bowled a 200 game at no tap last year and did not get anything for it.
Oh my god.
Not even a patch or like one of the keychain things.
Really?
I literally got nothing.
Really?
Even though I bowled over 200.
They should have sent you a check.
I did not get shit.
Intriguing.
Makes no fucking sense.
Intriguing! I'm gonna take my glasses off.
Because when you bowl over 200, especially me, when I went in there with like a 135 average and bowled like a 205 or something,
Yeah.
you're supposed to get like a 200 game Like, usually it's like a keychain type thing.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't get that.
The one thing that I find really weird that they do at fucking No Tap though, is that when you shoot a 300, they announce your fucking name. I hate that.
You know what
'Cause-
I hate? Because it's never accurate. Your current, like, team standing in, like, the lineup of group that's there
Yeah, where it
currently,
says it on the board.
or like the team thing where like scroll, it is never up to date.
It's
and
never up
accurate.
to date.
It is never accurate.
Never.
It's so bad.
Oh my god, like, shit.
Like, even if you're the last one done, it is still not.
It's
Correct.
never up to date because they gotta go through all the scores. Like, when you walk into that back room,
Mhm.
when you go and check in, that panel of people, they go through everything. I don't know if you knew this or not.
Well, yeah, because remember, like,
They go through
Wha-
everything.
because remember, it's usually my dad that takes everybody's information
Yes.
and goes into that
Yeah.
office and then sets everything up.
Yeah.
Which actually, speaking of that, I have, I believe, my sanction card from 2022.
Do you know what I just found?
And I am hoping that my sanction card for 2023 is up there.
You know what you have.
Because I don't know where it is.
So,
And I feel like I am not competing this weekend if I cannot find that card.
when we're done, I'll have to show you an app that you can get.
But I feel like
Download
but
bowling.com.
I feel like without that card for 2023 sanction, I'm not competing this weekend.
Download.
Unless they accept that app.
They do.
Okay.
They do. Because I do it every year.
Because I didn't put my card in my wallet.
I
When
always
got
go
it
off
in the
of
mail this year, but I can't remember if I put it in my junk drawer that I literally just grabbed everything and threw it out. Or if I put it up there because I knew it was important, and that's where I put all my important stuff is
Why
up
do I
there.
have last year's card on here? Should I have my new one? Oh, my new one's in my wallet. Do you know what I... So, you know how my mom was going through all those papers?
Mhm.
Guess what she found? An unopened envelope from the USBC from 2016, 2017. My fucking sanction card. From juniors.
And it was never open.
It was never opened. Because this was when my dad would just throw everything inside. Like, everything.
Is that what she was going through?
Yes.
It was like a bunch of stuff from when your mom and him were still technically together.
Yes.
Oh, I had to take this phone call, which might end the recording.
Okay. We take break.
The phone call. Oh wait, no. It just paused it.
Yeah. No, but I found that funny. That it was like right before you called me too. I just opened it, and then here you are calling me, and I'm like, motherfucker.
I caught her off guard this morning.
Yeah,
Well,
very off guard.
afternoon.
It was like noon.
Yeah.
Actually, I can check. I can check.
But no, I was supposed to do something with one of my other friends. This is off topic, but plans fell through, so I called her and I was like, "Are you doing anything?"
12:30. It was at 12:30.
Yeah, so afternoon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like he normally you either text me or you call me on Tuesdays because I don't work Tuesdays. And
Which I didn't know.
oh yeah, I don't work Tuesdays.
I just kind of figured you were home because you were texting me about mail stuff. And I was like, well, she's definitely not at work going through mail.
Yeah, but oh my god, I remember. So I used to be in anger management when I was in high school because
Sometimes still should be.
every now and then I really debate if I should be in a mental institution because of my anger. Because it gets nasty.
Oh, my anger takes the best of me sometimes.
You've seen it at its peak, though.
I don't think you have ever seen me get like angry.
No, you've seen it at my peak, though. Like reaching my peak.
You should see me at night. When I get angry and it's nighttime and a cord gets stuck, dude, I have such a spaz attack.
So, last year. So, I went to No Tap last year. And the day before,
Mhm.
Brandon ended things with me because this is when we were in our on and off period.
This was last year?
This was last year, yes. It was like a couple days after his birthday too.
Oh, so y'all haven't even been together like a year technically.
Yeah. But if we go off of our original date,
Mhm.
we've been together for 2.5 years.
Yes.
2.5 years today.
Minus a couple months.
Minus a couple months, but he doesn't go off of the breaks.
So maybe like 2 years.
He doesn't go off the breaks. He goes off of when we first got together.
Because you guys didn't take breaks that were like long.
No, we took like a few days
Mm-hmm.
in between.
Or like a week or two.
Except that when he first broke up with me,
Mm-hmm.
which was 5 months, and then we met up at CJ's birthday party, and then that's when we just kind of rekindled. He ended things with me, and then he went to no tap with me, and I didn't tell anybody yet that we were done, or at least I thought we were done, and he was pissing me off too, because he was just on his phone the whole time. He was at the arcade, he was outside, whole 9 fucking yards, like, avoiding me.
The arcade looks like fun.
It is fun. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I can't blame him for that one.
I can't lie to you. If there's a waiting period for the first squad to be done before me,
like there has been for the past
Yeah.
2 years.
you
Plus.
know where my ass is gonna be. In the fucking arcade playing skee ball.
I told you, I got that whole Victoria's Secret purse full of quarters.
Damn. But
Don't ask.
don't ask. But it's the last game of the day, and I was on a really good fucking streak. Like, it was natural strike, no tap strike, and it was a pattern. For some odd fucking reason, it was a pattern.
Mhm.
I actually just found the video too. And Matt's dad, Jim,
Mm-hmm.
had to get his attention, be like, yo, she's about to throw a 300, get your ass in gear and record it. Because everyone else was bowling, so they had no time to stop what they were doing, pick up their phone, and record me.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the only one that could do it. And, which was a good thing he did, because I was just going into the 10th frame. Like, he missed my first shot,
Mm-hmm.
which was a strike, and then he got my last 2. I didn't give him a hug, nothing.
Is that when you bowled a 300?
That's when I bowled my 3rd 300. But this was the first time with all of those people that I bowled a 300 in front of.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't smile at him. I didn't really acknowledge him after that, because I was so pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you break up with me, or like technically cut off everything that we were doing the night before a tournament, which you don't fucking do to somebody. You don't, but apparently I used it in a very positive way for some reason.
You usually do tend to put your anger, or I'll just say your emotions,
Into my
any
bowling.
emotions into bowling.
And it always works. I think that's how
it does.
But
I've done it where I put emotion into bowling, and it does work.
yeah. So I put it more into my throws than the pins themselves. Like I think at that tournament I was throwing like a speed of like 14,
Which is high.
which
For you.
you know what I normally throw. Like, I'm between 11 and a 12.
I'm usually right around 12.3.
Yeah,
Is usually where I hit my
you're
pocket.
consistent with your fucking speed though.
It's just getting the ball.
Yeah.
No.
But
I got the speed down, just not
Yeah.
the placement.
But he got up and wanted to give me a hug. I walked right past him. I actually gave Jim a hug first. Because you have to remember, this was before I knew anything that happened.
Which we won't go into.
No, we will not go into that because that is legal things.
It's like my friend right now. They're both in the same position, except I think mine's a little worse.
Yeah. But
So there's even toxicity just with exes or friends.
yeah, like I remember last time I went to No Tap with you. Like that was like right after our blow up.
I was waiting. So there was a blow up because of a guy situation between the two of us, actually.
So
Fun fact: neither one of us have him.
yeah. So I don't know.
Let's not say names.
No, I wasn't gonna name drop. So I was.
You were looking over there. I forgot. You could
I
still
saw
see it.
it. I saw it out of the corner of my fucking eye.
You saw it twice.
Yeah. So I dated this guy for about 4 days.
I don't even think it was 4 days.
Was
like
it? It
2.5.
wasn't. Yeah.
It was like the weekend.
Yeah. But he broke up with me right after work too, by the way.
I know.
Like right after work. I was already having a shitty fucking day.
Which I felt bad, but at the same time, I told him, I was like, look, if you want to end things with her, I'm like, do it now rather than later. Like, where you're not leading her on.
I think he did it at the wrong time of day, though. I think it would have made sense to do it that day, just not when I just got out of work. Because I was still in work mode.
Yeah.
Like, at work, I don't show emotion. And you could see, like, I just kind of...
So you had everything built up for the day.
Yeah.
And then you get out. And then you have to hear...
Yeah. And then... It's what, like a month later?
I don't even think it was a month.
It was like, I want to say 3 weeks at most.
Me and Hid started talking that night.
I want to say it was like 3 weeks at most after that. We all go to prom.
This is what she found out. I wanted to tell you so bad.
I know you did. I'm not. I voiced myself on this already. You know, I wasn't directing all of my anger at you.
You were still mad.
I was still. I wasn't mad. I was disappointed. I was disappointed in your choice of.
He was fine as fuck.
I wouldn't say he's fine as fuck, but that's my own opinion.
Well, with everything that has going on since then.
Oh, he was on my shit list.
But you can't lie, he is fine as fuck.
He was cute.
In the looks department.
Yeah, he was cute. But so we're at prom. He didn't even tell me. Our one friend told me, and she should have known what was gonna happen.
She wouldn't have.
She should have known what was gonna happen
we were trying to wait until the end of prom.
I know.
I could tell you.
And
we were also still trying to figure out like what was officially going on between us before
and like
we.
I even asked you before she even told me. Like I asked you several times.
I wasn't even sure myself.
Yeah.
I was like, I know me and him are talking. I'm like, but what are me and him?
Yeah. Like, I knew if I would have asked him, I was not going to get a straight answer.
Now, keep in mind, we didn't even go to No Tap yet.
Yeah, we didn't even go. This was like, I want to say like 2 weeks before No Tap.
Because we stopped talking, and then we had to go to No Tap.
And we had to stay in a hotel room together.
And I had to drive her to No Tap.
And what made it even better is that he showed up to the last day of No Tap too.
Well, Brandon showed up.
Listen.
The first day.
Yeah.
And
it was better that way.
And then Brandon left. And then this guy showed up.
Yeah.
The second day.
Yeah. You know what was funny? What Brandon told me? If he would have known that.
I'll bleep it out.
Yeah.
Just don't say it, but I'll bleep it out.
He would have known that. We're just gonna come up with a name.
DS?
Mm-hmm.
DS?
If Dickhead.
That's why I said DS, dipshit.
Yeah, if Dipshit was gonna be there, he would have stayed that second day.
Well, I'm glad he didn't.
Oh my god, it would have ended badly.
Because then me and Brandon would have had to get into an argument with each other.
It would have been.
Because I wouldn't have let Brandon
didn't have any beef with you.
No, but I wouldn't have let Brandon go off on him.
So, I pretty much gave Brandon a little rundown, like if he would have stayed. I'm like, listen, you can't cause a scene. You can't yell at him. You can't do anything. I'm like, you just got to stand there and take it, like I did. Because you got to admit, I kept myself pretty well together.
Also, can we talk about how drunk I was the night before?
Oh my god!
Bro.
Bro!
Me out on the balcony.
Just, hi!
I had my phone set on this little, like, this cheap, like legitimate, like, lawn furniture table.
It was lawn furniture.
I had it on the table. At one point,
dude,
I'm holding onto the railing like this.
It's like, how?
And I'm like, I'm tired. And Brendan's like, lay down then. And I just go, okay.
You just lay on the balcony.
And then I just fall backwards and land on the concrete balcony.
Like,
I'm just rolling around back and forth.
He was wasted. Well, granted,
And then,
we also did have Jello shots.
And then the
No, that was the day before. That wasn't.
okay,
that wasn't even that day. That was the night before.
The day before, I turned into the Statue of Liberty with the ice container, like canister, like the tray, and a monster can, I believe it was.
It was. Oh my god. Yeah. You know what? Even though it was a fucked up time, we had so much fun.
And then I'm sorry, you and Brandon. I was trying so hard to sleep the second night.
I was trying to fucking sleep!
Brandon tucks me in like a burrito. And I think y'all thought I fell asleep. But I didn't. And fun fact, from my bed, I could see in the mirror into the bathroom.
No!
So I saw y'all just making out, going to town with each other.
I told him to close the door. I told him to close the door.
I remember you saying that because you said, no, it's fine, no one's asleep.
I'm like, close the fucking door!
And I was just laying there like this, just...
Dude, like, you even heard me say, close the door! And, like, you can even see me trying to, like, reach for the door.
I saw
and it just wasn't working.
And then when y'all come out and you're on your bed right next to me, which is ironically the same way I'm laying.
Yeah!
I fell asleep and y'all were still fucking doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened after I fell asleep, and I don't
Nothing. Nothing happened.
You just hear...
No, nothing happened. That's the funny part.
I wake up the next morning and I look at Justine and I'm just like, I had a really squeaky door in my dream. But that didn't happen.
Dude. No. Can we just talk about how awkward the second day was when he showed up? Like, how awkward I was.
I was trying not to make it awkward. Like, you could see I was trying to kind of be...
So, you weren't trying to make it awkward, but he did.
You could see I was trying to be a little flirty.
Yeah.
But he was, like, the one that was, like, you know, the fucking, my leg's here, he's, like, wrapping his leg around mine, or, like...
And you can even see, I wouldn't go near him.
Or, like, I was like, I want to go get a snack and a drink. And he's like, nope. And he walks away and goes and gets it for me.
I wouldn't go near him. That's the fucked up part. Like...
Is there a fucking elephant?
Fucking thin floors, I guess.
It's probably Alyssa. She's the only one that sounds like that.
Seriously? But, like, you could even see, I just looked pissed off that whole entire tournament. Like...
I mean, you both did.
I wonder why. I wonder why.
And then our drive home.
Oh my god.
What was our average speed? 90?
It was like 90 or something
90,
like that.
95?
Well, it was all highway.
Yeah, but like...
It was even better. He had
highway that's patrolled only by state troopers. And we're doing...
surprised.
And we're doing like 20, 25 over the speed limit.
Dude, I'm surprised we did not get pulled over. I'm so surprised.
Yeah, especially considering he had the lifted truck, which was huge.
And it was his dad's.
And I had...
It was the Mustang.
The bright red Mustang.
Yeah. Like, there was no hiding that.
No. Thank God it was a V6 though, so it was quiet.
Yeah. But after that, we just did not.
We didn't talk. We started talking again after no time. Kind of.
It was on and off.
Because it was kind of nice to see each other again. And, like, see that we could still talk after everything that happened with prom and the whole situation. But we still had to take a little bit more of a break from each other.
I think we took, like, a 10-month break from each other. Motherfucker!
My coffee cup.
I know. I want to say we took, like, a 10-month break from each other.
I don't think it was that long. The only reason why I don't think it was that long is because the whole issue between me and that guy only lasted about 3 months.
Yeah.
And then he was gone.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't much longer after that we started hanging out again, if it even took until he left completely.
Do you want to know what the fucked up part about all this is?
Hmm?
He works where I work now!
Do you want to know what's even more fucked up? After he left and gave me no explanation and said nothing. Literally, this guy joined an Xbox party with me because I invited him a couple times. Because I just wanted to play a game with him.
Yeah, like you just wanted to enjoy a game.
At this point, I didn't think that I had hopes that there was going to be something between us, but I didn't have any, like, real expectation.
Yeah.
So I legitimately just wanted to play a game with him and see how he was doing. And he joined, and I forget what he said, but he's like, yeah, I'm, like, deleting Snapchat, I'm not talking to anybody again, blah, 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 blah. And then went into a party with a shit ton of other people.
Do I know what's funny?
And I called him, and I was like, hey, if you're just going to leave abruptly, you're going to say it to my face. Yeah. And he said, no, I'm not. And I said, well, that sucks. I'm 2 minutes out from your house. And then I showed up, took him like a half an hour to come outside. Finally said it to my face, blah, blah, blah. That was it. That was the extent.
That was it.
He said like 2 sentences, went back in time. What was it? Over a year or something later, I was selling the Mustang. I was literally with the person who was buying it.
Yeah.
He didn't buy it yet because I was teaching him how to draw a manual on it before he bought it.
Yeah.
We were literally in the middle of a training session, and this guy texts me, and he texted me a couple days before that, and he says something like, yo. And I was like, yo? Like,
he never says
mark?
Yo, though.
Or he said something along the lines of that, and I was like, yo, like, question mark? And he was like, what are you doing? I'm like, gaming, what about you? And I forget what else he said, but he was like, bye. He said something, bye, and then just didn't say anything again. And I was like, oh, well, that's cute. Like, you're just doing this just to annoy me.
Yeah.
And then it was like a week, 2 weeks later when I was, as I said, in the training session with that guy, that he texted me and he goes, do you still do detailing? The first thing that came to my head was, yeah, I still do detailing. And, like, I was like, I'm going to get, like, $150.
Yeah, which you should
like, but then he actually started talking to me, not the way we did before. He
like, as friends.
He kind of came back, explained why he left, which was for me to get over him, which I could have easily done with him not disappearing like that. If anything,
like, if you would have done it the right way.
If anything, just ask her. It made it worse when he came back.
Oh my god, dude.
Because now it's like I'm stuck on him all over again, and I have to relearn. If he would actually, like, stay in my life enough for me to, like, see him every day and get used to him as a friend,
yeah,
it would be easier.
It was such a fucked up situation for all of us. Because, like, that's when our friend group really fucking broke.
Mm-hmm.
Which was really weird to think that, like, we were, like, the concrete of our friend group.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we were, like, the minute we fell apart,
mm-hmm.
everyone else fell apart. Like,
now,
that...
what I do find ironic is you and the other girl, because I don't want to say too much and then have, like, people put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
But you and the other girl, you say that he acted one way, which I believe he acted one way. But what I don't understand is with me, and I think it's because I'm a guy, he can't put the intimidation into.
It's because, it is because you're a guy, because it's harder for men.
Because he won't run away and leave. He'll still play games.
Yeah. So.
But he can't put the intimidation into me, and I don't know.
So one thing I noticed, like, growing up, even with me, and, like, growing up with my dad,
mm-hmm.
is men are harder to manipulate than women because of how stubborn they are, and how they just, I don't want to say see past it,
Mhm.
but they,
We can always start another podcast with a different topic in this one. Because now we are straying on to more of different topics.
yeah.
So,
But let's finish our bowling talk.
so is there anything else that we want to say bowling? Because I'm not going to lie, I might have just cut out the past 10, 15
Yeah.
minute section.
So, actually, there's a lot I can still say about toxic bowling. Going back to Cyprus.
Oh, God.
Going back to Cyprus.
You're giving me a lot of bowling alleys to, like, blur the name out of here.
Sorry.
I don't want people to figure out what area we're from.
So, how about this? How about going back
Oh
to...
no, there is already how many
Yeah.
of them that I gotta...
So, going back to that. So, after telling the owner that I was quitting bowling club,
Mhm.
because he actually wanted me to go to a youth state tournament with his team.
So we're back to, like, the beginning topic.
And he already had my name written down. Somehow he got my sanction card. Like, somehow he got my bowler ID.
Well, isn't that public?
No.
No?
Because of me being a minor at the time.
Oh, okay.
Those
So,
are concrete security.
over 18 they are public.
Yes, over 18 they are public because you can't release anything that is related to a minor.
Yes.
And it was about to turn into a big legal thing
Mhm.
with him specifically because
You should have.
we were gonna, but then he actually kicked me out of the bowling alley because of that. Because I threatened to sue him.
You should have, especially after he kicked you out.
He just gave me more reason to. And we had a court date set. Like set in stone and everything. But his lawyers surpassed it, saying that there was not enough evidence to go on with the lawsuit.
Even though he had your bowler number, and you never gave it to him.
And he kicked me out of the bowling alley for no reason either, for no good reason either. So I asked him for a reason, and he just said, "Nope, you have to leave. You have to leave." And you know, it's funny. Whenever I do tournaments
You
there,
should have taken a video. Then you would have had some great evidence.
yeah, I was also 16 or like 16 or 17 at the time, and you know, my phone was up at the monitor and everything. So it's not like I could just go up and grab it and just
Mhm.
like wait, let me just like I can't just do that because then now make it more of a reason.
Mhm.
Like if he did not give me that ultimatum, there would not have been a problem. He created a problem. He also fucked up my positioning, my form and everything. Like he was having me throw from one end of the bowling alley, getting it to go up, like edging the gutter,
Mhm.
and still wanting me to get a strike.
Which you just can't do.
I just can't do that.
Like, even me, it's difficult,
I-
but I can
I
get it to do it
can't
on
do that.
certain will
I did
patterns.
not have a bowling ball with a high rev rate like that. I just did not.
It is impressive, the rev rate that I get on the bowling ball.
Oh
that
my
you
god,
see.
I could never get that on that ball. But I also bowl one-handed, but you see the fucking rev rate that I can get on my ball.
I put such a flick on it that it...
Your dad is impressed with the way that I can throw that fucking ball. Because
That one ball that you literally bought, you used for a little bit, and now you just use it as like an every now and then ball. That thing has a lot of rev rate on it.
oh my god, yeah.
You use that like in like oily conditions. Like
So-
the machine just dumped oil everywhere.
I think that's just the way that I grew up in bowling. Is
Like
that
last week.
you just know.
Like last week, those lanes were oily.
Sucked. That hurt.
I had to switch to my plastic ball.
It hurt my soul.
I had to switch to my plastic ball to get any results last week.
It hurt.
Which, as a league player, using a plastic ball is usually not a thing.
You'll never catch me throwing my plastic ball. Never.
Usually, my plastic ball is literally reserved for anything that's still standing, like two pins to the right of the head pin.
Yeah. Every now and then you'll use it for your 10 pin.
Well, that's to the right of the.
Yeah.
I use it all the time.
Yeah. But sometimes you'll just get lazy and just throw your fucking first ball.
That's if I know I'm just having an absolute shit game and there is no real point to making it anymore. Like last week, why do you think I switched to the red one? I was like, well, the other one isn't working.
Yeah.
Might as well.
But it's like, oh my god.
I do need to get my balls baked.
Yeah, you do. There's probably years worth of fucking
Oh,
oil
yes,
in the one that
there
I
is.
gave you. Because I'll tell
Yes,
you right
there
now,
is.
I never got that ball baked.
Oh yes, Denny is gonna have so much oil that comes out of that ball.
So what?
I just hope it doesn't crack.
Oh, it won't. Actually, it'll probably fix some of the cracks if
That
there's
would
any in
be
there. It'll probably
There is
fix
a lot
some.
of cracks on the outside, which
I know there's a lot of scratches too. I know there's it's an old ball. That ball is like
We also had to bring, what was it, Windex? What did we use to clean our balls?
Windex. Well, it's an all-surface. It was an all-surface Windex.
Yeah, so we use Windex to clean our balls. It does-
Listen, when
it
you're
works
broke,
great.
bitch,
It-
when you're broke and you have nothing else to fucking use,
I also,
you
know
will
what?
use it.
While we're on here, because it might be a good tip for some of you guys that also don't know what to do. What in the world do I do to get the oil out of my rag?
What kind of rag is it?
It's that gray one that you see me use.
Have you
everywhere.
tried putting it in the washer?
I have not. Because I did not want to put it in the washer until I knew that it was okay to put it in the washer.
Is the tag still on it?
I believe so.
Read the tag, and if it says that it is washer friendly or that you can throw it in the washer,
Mhm.
then you.
Because I want to do that before no tap.
Because
I noticed
I'm
it is caked with oil.
I'm gonna tell you right now, most of my rags that I had, they went in the washer.
Whether they were washer friendly or not.
Whether they liked it or not, they were washer friendly.
Well, just because
I got washer.
if you notice the last couple weeks, if I get oil in my bowl and I try to wipe it off, I have to use the corner of my rag.
Yeah.
Because there's so much oil on the rag itself.
Yeah.
That it will not come off.
like, you remember my pink rag that I had?
Mm.
You know how many times I put that through the fucking washer? And the dryer, too. That is one thing I will tell you. Do not put those through a dryer.
Oh, God.
Because,
Air dry.
yeah, air dry them.
Like what I'm supposed to do with my microfibers, but I never knew.
Yes. Put those through, like, air dry them. Like, they are washer friendly. Or, even if you just wash it in the sink and just wring it out,
I might try that.
that
I'm
works
scared to see how
too.
much oil is gonna come out
That
of
works
it.
too. I mean, the water's gonna look gross.
Should I use some Dawn dish soap?
Yes, actually, yes, you should. That or just YouTube videos. Just look it up on YouTube.
I'll hand wash it and see how it
Excuse me.
Because we have no tap this weekend,
Yes.
and I am so unprepared.
I'm not even packed. We leave in like
I will
less
pack.
than 3 days.
I will pack Friday when I get home from work.
I'm waiting for my bag to come in. That backpack that I got for my 4th ball.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for that to come in. It
I hope
still hasn't.
because you ordered it. How long ago?
It should be here by Thursday. So by the time I get home from work, yeah, go for it. I've been doing it to you all this whole time.
I just love. I work tomorrow. Yay for me.
I don't.
I work tomorrow morning, but I have off in the afternoon, and then I work Thursday night, but I have off in the morning. And then Friday I work Friday morning. Like, why is my schedule so fucked? But then I took off Friday night because there was no way in hell. No way in hell I was leaving at midnight to get up to the house.
That would have been a long fucking drive for all of us.
Well, like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then just doing it at night.
For all of us, it'd be long because one, I have to get up at like 5:30 in the morning on Friday, maybe 5 o'clock, because I have to be at work for 6, and then I get done at noon. Then we gotta do running around, just get stuff that we need to get.
The liquor store, the beer distributor. Well, I think we're done with this podcast because we keep straying off the topic.
We do.
So I hope you guys liked the first one. I hope you guys decide to stick around because there was a lot more topics that aren't just bowling related.
Yeah.
Topics that we're toying with. You can put your ideas down below, or you can even say which topic you want to really see that I list off.
Because we want to.
Should driving high be legal or not legal?
Yeah, we want to do one with childhood trauma and how it affects us in the adult life.
That one. I think that was really all that we have. Me and Emma did do a relationship one, which would be nice for us to touch on.
I think we should definitely do that.
Just kind of like relationship experiences.
Yeah. And also, like, the manipulation that can go into it as well.
And relationship stuff? Yes. 100%.
100%, yeah.
But I think that's it.
Bye!
Bye!
Do we want to do another one?
I'm gonna sit here for a second just to give us like a fade out.
And he's gone. Bye!
No, I don't disappear.